Hello everyone, today we are going to have a discussion. And here is Marshall
Yeah. Hi.
and Vicky,
Yeah.
and I am Eric. Today the topic of our discussion is the stress of local age student, which is 7 to 18. Some studies shows that they suffer from more stress than the student in the past. So now we are beginning with the course. What do you think, Marshall?
I think, in my opinion, in my experience when I was childhood, I think the most stress come from family, especially my mother. If I not get a high mark in the school, my mother will punishment like a little violence. So I think the family is very important point. So what about you kids?
In my opinion, I think the school age students spend almost the time in the school with their classmates, friends. So the peer stress and the social stress is more serious for them. Like sometimes the school bullying is very harmful. Their mental is very influence for their mental health, and the peers competitive is also very competitive, very significant. So they also make some mental health due to the test, final test, and some bullying.
Yeah, it's a big problem.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. And in my point of view, I think the main reason may be the awareness of students. They might think if they can have a good way to go to a higher education, they might don't have good future, because they will think very important to go to a high school or college, and it seems to be the only way in some specific country. And so in this case, the requirement from teacher and school is also significant, because they will require the student to get enough grade to go to the college and school. I think it will potentially affect their study life and due to some stress.
Yeah. I think because they need more high grade, and the research shows that nowadays the young people, compare with their parents, like the young generation, they are sleeping less than their parents, almost 20 and 30 years ago. So it maybe lead a high pressure for them.
Yeah, some teacher or parents will tell them if they can have good grades, they can even find a job.
Yeah.
I think
It's very stressful.
Yeah, but I think this is not just focused on the schools and the person. I think it's a big problem for the whole social. Yeah, the strategy for the schools, for the student want to get a higher school, maybe the university or the senior high school, they need to work hard. I think it's like it's a it's a big problem for the education system for social. Maybe the government. I think the government should do something to solve it.
Yeah.
Like this. And in my opinion, it's also the some part of is like natural disaster.
Yeah, I know, some school shooting in the America, or some shooting.
School shooting.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's also make the students anxiety about their safety.
Yeah.
Is the students shoot others in America?
Yeah, the school
because of-
shooting because the gun in their country is free.
Yeah, because of stress.
Yeah.
I think there are many news in show us the American, maybe his classmates or some people, some social people, they go to the schools, so college, they with his gun and shoot him.
Yeah.
You know, it's a terrible thing.
For the school age students, the main cause of the stress is almost their cause and families and some world events to lead to high pressure for them. Yeah, how about
Okay.
the effect?
Yeah, okay. So what do you think the effect of this issue?
Maybe I think in a long time, if the student have in this situation in a long time, they will have, I think, if he get a lower grade in his in his academic, he will get lower and lower because they cannot get maybe a relax. So it's a worse to how to say, result worse result worse. The situation
Like
can
some suicide.
yeah. The and I think it also can be a damage for the students maybe his physical and his mental health. Yeah.
Do you think it will affect their study?
Yeah, it's the most important thing for them because the most part for the students' life
Is study.
is study.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they can have another plans for example, the exercise.
What means exercise?
So because they use all the time to study, so they don't have time to exercise.
Yeah, I think it's a big problem, and maybe I have some more good ideas.
Yeah. What do you think?
I just think the pressures may lead some serious mental health, like significant increase in the suicide rate, and make them feel not. Make them feel not very good with friends and feel lonely, and make them to feel something not very good, and exercise and anxiety, like something.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, I think one point for your ideas. Because students have not enough exercise. This is like you know it's like a bad recycle.
Best cycle.
Bad cycle, yeah, bad cycle. So they, I think the most important for them is like maybe the schools or the family or themselves to get a good time management. They should manage their which time is his for his study and which time is for his essential exercise for like do some sports or just relax.
Yeah. Okay, and in my point of view, I think the stress of these students also affect their future study and work, because just in my experience, in my high school, everyone is very hardworking, and they have no, they want a they want a higher grade to go to the college, but in the college, because of they have the stress experience in high school, so they are not willing to still hardworking in college. So many people who have a high grade and go to a good college always don't have the same grade in the college study because they don't want to hardworking again. And maybe some students will also think the they also have maybe they can not understand more talent because of what they want is to get a high grade instead of know many skills. So some people they finish their study and go to society. They may, they maybe they just know how to study but don't know how to live. Sometimes they may not know how to cook, for example.
And failure about the normal life.
Yeah.
Just focus the study.
Yeah.
And you know, like I mentioned before, I say the mental health is caused some mental issue, but the mental issue also caused the bad grades to their life. Some people, due to some anxiety or something, they can't focus on their studies, so they may be failed for their grade and failed for their college. Then they just they just find job to go to the society. So maybe it's by you know the by the cycle recycle between their life. The bad grades affect the bad job.
But the career.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Because I think it's a big problem for the whole education for not just for the family, it's also the social, the whole country. The most families, their parents just give the child high expectation, expectation until he go to the university. They get to go to university. Then the teacher have no price for them. The family also have no because he just go to the university. He have a grade for the he will have a diploma or significant for his education, his academic.
Yeah.
So
So the stress leads some mental issues and some bad effects in the future plan, like future careers something. So how about the solution?
How about solution?
for I think maybe for your for the
Mental health.
yeah.
We
You-
can organize some volunteering in the school, in the high schools, some the mental teachers can
Okay.
the mental teachers can teaching children's effective time management and organize some strategies can help them feeling more in control of their workload or reduce the academic pressure, the peer pressure, the competitive.
Yeah, I think this is the reason why so many schools set up a mental health room for students to get, because they need a space to relax and to express their
Some psychology course.
Yeah, and I think the schools need to improve more spare time to make students play with them and not only focus on the studies, their grades, and they can have some time to relax, like listening music, watching some movies to forget their anxieties and pressures.
yeah.
Yeah, and I think more options should be made by students. For example, they can build more school for the future skills. They can learn how to fix a car, how to fix the water supply, and so on. So they can have more choice. They don't always need to hardworking about physical, chemistry, and so on. They can easier to find a job in the future, and without more stress. And more activities should be organized in school and in the society. They allow them to have more exercise, such as the football matches and the basketball matches. So they can give them less. They can give them relaxation and relieve their stress. And parents also have the responsibility to track with their children and know and understand what they are doing and what is stress, so that it can be helpful to relieve their stress.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I totally agree with him because I think it's not just a problem for the family. It's maybe it's needed the whole society, the whole society to solve this problem. And I think it's not just for the parents to teach the children how to
How to study.
how to study, and they also need to teach the student how to do time management and organization.
How to manage.
Yeah,
So
it's teaching children effective time management. I think it also can give him to control their word laws, and they feel better. And I think it's a better way to reduce the academic pressure. But I think the it's a whole big problem for the education department for the government to solve it. I think maybe it's a long ways to.
Yeah, so I think I agree with you, because the school and parents to reduce the children's pressure is more effective. Like you mentioned, the school need to organize more activities, and the parents need to be encouraged to more communicate with children's like the emotional well-being. Not more focus on the grades, more concentrate on their children's emotional and their mental. So I think the school and the parents measures is the most effective solution for the school age children.
yeah, I agree with you. And I think the mental teacher is also effective. They can give them a chance to relieve their stress. They can tell them what to do and what need to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's also a way to relieve their stress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all.
Okay. Now let's summarize this discussion. And for this issue, one of the cause is the family violence and the social stress, and then the awareness of the awareness of getting a high grade. And there are some negative effects such as the the mental issue affect their mental health and have some disease and depression of lonely, anxiety, and even suicide. And then they can also lack of some life skills such as cooking and so on. And then the solution, which is the most effective, is the
School activities.
Yeah, school need to hold more activities for their relaxation and exercise. And then parents also focus on the emotional,
Children's
yeah,
emotional well-being.
their psychology status.
Yeah.
And then more mental and psychology teacher
Doctors, teachers.
doctors in the school.
Yeah.
That's all.
That's all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.